Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Pastor Eric Brown with Daily Manna for your soul. Happy Thursday to you. I pray the Lord is blessing you real good right now. Look, just want to bring you a word of encouragement, something to help you along your way. And today that word is just because it's too hard for you. Can I tell you, there are some things in life that we have resigned ourselves that we just can't get it. We just can't figure it out. We just can't walk it out. We can't do it. It is beyond us and our capabilities. And some things we have put to the side, but I'm here to tell you, don't ever put any promise to the side that God has given you, any word that God has given you. Don't put it to the side, because I'm gonna tell you just like this: just because it's too hard for you doesn't mean that it's too hard for God. You know, I'm reminded of Abraham and Sarah over there in Genesis chapter 18. In Genesis chapter 18, it has been 24 years since God has given Abraham the promise that he's going to have a son, that he's going to bear a son, and his seed will be extensive. His seed will be great, and God will make a great nation out of him, and he'll be the father of many nations. And he was going to have that son through his wife Sarah, even though at the time of the promise Abraham was 75 and without children, and at the time of the promise Sarah was 65 and barren, could not have any children. God still picked that couple. God picked that couple at that time in their life, at that stage in their life, to give them a promise that seemed like it was impossible. Oh, I can just imagine Sarah, when she first heard the news, how excited she was and how ready she was to have a child. And I could see her picking out baby names and getting things ready for a new baby. And year one had passed and nothing happened. Year two, year three, year four, nothing happened. Year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, nothing happened. Sarah even made up her mind that she would help God out, and she would let Abraham lay with her handmaid Hagar, and let Abraham have a child through Hagar. And that happened, y'all. That really happened. But you know what? After she did that, she was sorry she did that, because every time she looked at Hagar and Hagar looked at her, she could just imagine Hagar feeling superior to her, and she got tired of seeing that little boy running around and knowing that he was not the son of promise, and it just made her angrier and angrier, and it caused her to resign herself to the fact that she couldn't even help God get it done, and no way she could get it done. So how in the world was this gonna happen? Oh, but I'm here to tell you today, God saw all of that, and God forgave her for meddling. Amen. Amen. And God understood all that, and God still had a promise waiting on Sarah and Abraham. And so here it is, year 24, and the angel of the Lord has come to remind them of the promises of God. You know, sometimes we have to be reminded of what God said, and the angel of the Lord came to remind them of what God said and what God said he was going to do. And when Sarah heard it, she was listening in her tent, and she laughed to herself. She laughed to herself, said, how am I going to have a child when I am this old? I am 90 years old. My body is well past the age of childbirth. And I was barren anyway. And my husband is 99 years old. How in the world are we going to have a child? And she resigned herself because she knew it was too hard for her of herself, and she laughed. And can I tell you, God knows your heart. And the angel of the Lord said, why did Sarah laugh? Why did Sarah laugh? And he questioned Sarah. Sarah denied it. But he began to check Sarah. Why did you laugh? Because the angel said this to Sarah. And I don't think this was a word of rebuke. I think this was a word of encouragement and a teachable moment. Sarah, is there anything too hard for God? And the angel left. I'm here to tell you, the angel left her with that word. Is there anything too hard for God? I believe Sarah had faith. I believe that Sarah checked herself. I believe that Sarah began to look back, and she began to think about the things that God had done, the things that God had blessed them with, the things that God had helped them come through. And even though this thing was something that she longed for, and she had not seen it for 24 years, I believe somewhere deep down in her heart that she got a belief that was raised up because she understood that there was nothing too hard for God. What the angel was telling her was this: is there anything too wonderful for God? Is there anything inconceivable for God? Is there anything preposterous for God? Is there anything too old for God? Anything too young for God? Anything too small for God? Anything too big for God? Is there anything too hard for God. And I believe Sarah got that word in her spirit because 1 year later, or in the fulfilling of time, Sarah did have a son, and his name was Isaac. He was the son of the promise. I'm here to tell you today that it might not come when you want him, but God will always be right on time. It may look impossible for you, but just because it's impossible for you, it is not impossible for God. God is able. God is able to heal your body when everyone else when doctors say you won't be healed. God is able to provide for you in times of need and trouble, even when it looks like that it can't be done. God is able to bring you up out of that place of discomfort, that place of dysfunction, that place of distress. And when the doctors say it can't be done, when the psychiatrists say and the counselors say it can't be done, when your friends say you'll never bounce back from that defeat, I'm here to tell you nothing is impossible with God. God can do anything but fail. All we got to do is believe in him, trust in him, and know that God will work it out. Why? Because there's nothing impossible for God. Look, you have an awesome day. You have a blessed day. Be encouraged in the Lord and watch God work on your behalf. Nothing's impossible for him. Have a great day. Peace.